This is the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sword destruction. Micah chapter 2, verse 10. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rechakodash. Double honors to our venerable apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and blessings to the Lord's elect, the house of David. All right, so Brother Haran coming back at you with another lesson. Lord willing to be edifying and uplifting onto the elect. All right, and I'm just going to jump right into this article here that I just came across. All right, and this is actually dated November 17th, 2022. Okay, so right about a month and a half, all right, ago. All right, and this is very key because these articles that we normally go into, all right, are the prophecies coming to life. Okay, all these biblical prophecies that are written in the Bible, okay, that we're living now, we're reading those in articles. Okay, we're living those things right now. All right, and these articles are basically news, all right, to prepare you for the reality of what's coming. So you're reading about it before you start living it. All right. Now this title goes, it says, JP Morgan is about to spend $1 billion on hundreds of rental homes across the U.S. on the way to becoming a mega landlord. Okay. A mega landlord. Okay. So when you have companies like Pfizer and J&J and all these biotech, all these different AstraZeneca, okay, these are private companies that came together, created a drink, all right, and gave people to drink a potion. All right. Now, these people are known as what they call stakeholders, all right, investors, and so on and so forth. They are the ones who run the world. Private stakeholders. Okay. JP Morgan Chase is a private bank. Wells Fargo is a private bank. TD Bank is a private bank. Bank of America is a private bank. Okay? All these so-called banks are all privately owned banks, including the Federal Reserve itself. Okay? The head of Pfizer, or Pfizer itself, is a private corporation. It's a private business. Okay? When you go into the, so we've covered the money sector, we've covered the health, so-called health sector, all right, FDA, all these different CDC. The CDC is also a private corporation, okay, all right. So we've covered the health, all right. Just lock it 1 second. Look, there you go, right. So you have the money and you got the health. Now let's talk about the food. Okay. Tyson is a private company. Okay. What else? What other food companies can we go into? Pepsi, Coca-Cola, all these different companies are all privately owned. Okay. So they have an interest in ultimate something known as control. Okay. Monopoly, and so on and so forth. All right. All these different corporations, all these different things that people use in our day-to-day lives are all privately owned. Okay, privately owned, and now they've become mainstream where people don't even think of these things as privately owned. It's almost like it's just part of daily life. You know what I'm saying? People actually think that the CDC is a government thing. No, it's a privately owned company. You got to do your research and find out. Okay, so the point I'm making here is you have all these private companies, all right, coming together, all right, and forming this crazy monopoly that puts everybody else at their mercy. When it comes to the food, they control the food. When it comes to the health, they control the health. When it comes to transportation, they control that. When it comes to politics, they control that. And it all leads to one thing and one people. Okay, it all leads to one thing and one people, man. The one thing is control. The people are who? The Edomites. Okay, control by the Edomites. All right. So here we're talking about what? They're saying that JP Morgan is about to spend $1 billion on hundreds of rental homes across the U.S. on the way to becoming a mega landlord. All right, so you have Gil Bates. Okay, Gil Babes, he's out here buying up a whole lot of land. Okay, so we get that out the way, and now you have J.P. Morgan about to spend $1 billion on what? On hundreds of rental homes across the U.S. Okay, and I believe BlackRock. I forget exactly what they were also going into. I think they were also going into real estate, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so these private companies are all doing things to take over, and then you have the government working with them. So you have the private-public partnership. Okay, PPP. All right, and the PPP is one thing that the IMF is behind, the World Economic Forum is behind. They're all pushing for this what? New World Order. And the New World Order is known in the scriptures as the beast system. And in order for you to be a part of this beast system, you're going to have to take the mark of the beast, the branding of the beast, the identification that shows that you are a part of the system, the brand, whatever brand that is. And we're about to read about how they're going to bring about this thing into reality. Okay, it starts with the food, right? Your security, your shelter, and so on and so forth, your health, right? And over the past 2 years, there were surveys that they were doing to find out exactly what's going on. They said that what? People from the ages of 18 to about 40 or 39 or something like that were all going back to live with their parents because they couldn't afford rent. So a lot of people are going to end up being homeless as well very soon. In the next coming months, you're going to start seeing homelessness rise like crazy. Okay, right after tax season is over, the IRS does their whole audits. A lot of people are going to owe a lot of money that they can't pay. And the government got these new things going on. That's going to lead to something known as what? The UBI. So let's get into it. It says here, a new joint venture between one of America's largest banks and a growing build-to-rent operator is the latest sign that big investors are undeterred by the volatile real estate market. Haven Reality Capital and J.P. Morgan Chase's asset management arm said they will invest up to $1 billion to develop, build to rent single-family homes across the country, according to a November 15 announcement. All right. The duo plans to seed their investment with up to $415 million in equity. Their first installment will include a purchase of 250 homes in 3 communities around the Atlanta metropolitan area. Who's normally dwelling in the land of Atlanta right now? Jake's. Okay, the deal could close within the next 90 days, the statement said. And the next 90 days gives us right around the ballpark of around like March, right? March, April, around there. See what I'm saying? Right in that ballpark. So we will see. It says, the partnership comes at a time when demand for new housing continues to slide, according to data from the Consensus Bureau. All right. And you wonder how they get all this data. Everything is about data. You know what? You know how they get this data? You know, when you're at work and you have to fill out forms and you got to print this out and you got to fill out this form and agree on this thing and fill out the survey and that's how they get all the so-called data. You know, if you work at a job and they say, oh, you got to fill out this form to make sure that, you send this to this person and make sure that they approve it and stamp it and do this and fax it to this and email this person and email that and respond to this email and do that. That's all data information right there that they're collecting. Okay. They're trying to use those things to program the so-called AI that's going to be governing the slaves very soon. Okay? Ain't that crazy? That people who created the robots are the ones who become a slave to the robots. It's crazy. Only Esau could do some shit like that. Anyways, keep going. It says, meanwhile, the National Association of Home Builders reports that builder confidence is at its lowest level since 2012 because of rising interest rates and construction materials costs. And material costs is all across the board. All right. Even here in America, Babylon the Great. All right. You have in different parts of the states. All right. You have farmers. Okay, now let's not even take away the fact that you had so many food processing plants got burnt down the whole of 2022. Okay, which is going to have a very profound impact, and people don't even pay attention to this stuff. The average person is not even paying attention to that. It's almost like the news talks about it or the news doesn't talk about it. And if they hear it from anywhere else that's not the news, it's a conspiracy theory to them. But then the shit that we're talking about is actually happening, and they're going through it. The news is finally reporting on it, and they're saying, "Oh, it's really nothing. You guys are just overreacting." Yo, missiles, man. You can't reason with these people. Okay, you can't. But everything is going up, man. Farmers, all right, they complain about, yo, I can't even maintain my farm because feed is expensive. You know, the products that is supposed to come into the country for them to process the feed, all right, is scarce. You know, so now they gotta jack up their prices, and certain things that customers used to get, they're not getting no more. So everything is becoming tight, man. You know, you got customers that always have this one person that they always go to, all right, but now he's in a tight spot, so all the customers gotta, like, you know, take a back seat. You know, so everyone is affected by this, man, and that's all what biblical prophecy. Get into what the famines that the Lord talked about. So when people start saying that, oh man, these things that are happening are biblical, yes, they are biblical. You know why? Because we're in the time of biblical proportions, which signifies the end of this age. And Esau Edom knows that. They know that. Why do you think they're creating why do you think they're creating AI? Artificial intelligence. Because they know that they're at the end of their age, they're at the end of their kingdom. And in order for them to continue, all right, to pass this end of their age, they want to create a new world where they could just transition from here there. No. You're not just going, oh, we've reached the end of this age, so we about to create the next age that we're going to live in. Who the hell are you? The scripture says that Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. We at the end of this world. And who's ruling? It ain't Jacob. So who could possibly be ruling if we're going according to biblical prophecy? So you exposing yourself once again. All right. That's why they don't want anyone to refer to them as the people who control the world, because if that's the case, then they're fulfilling biblical prophecy of being the Edomites. All right. So you can't hide from that. You want to claim everyone's identity but your own. That's not going to happen. Okay. It's not hate speech when we tell you the truth. Okay. Because we ain't lying. It's all truth. It's all facts, and facts ain't hate. All right. It says, the for sale housing market has been significantly hampered by recession fears, inflation, and rising interest rates, placing a burden on home builders and their ability to add to the housing stock. Haven's founder Sudha Reddy said in the statement, adding that the partnership will allow the company to work with home builders who are becoming increasingly comfortable selling entire communities to operators, end quote, like Haven. So look, what they call it, gentrification. Okay, you got a lot of Jakes, all right, that are selling their homes, man. Some people have had their houses since the 60s, since the 70s, right? You go into certain neighborhoods and you'd be like, damn, they've been living here for mad long, you know, and it maintains the same structure, you know, certain things they got going on. It's old school stuff. But now it's hard to maintain. Property taxes going up, all kinds of shit, you know, and forget it, if you're Jake, you start going to find a way to tighten the screws on you, man. You know? So it's like a lot of Jakes are going to have to give up whatever they got, whatever possessions you have. You know, they create a system that's going to affect you people a lot more. That's why it's known as Jacob's trouble, according to biblical prophecy, once again. Okay? So if you want a modern day term of what Jacob's trouble means, it means prepare if you're a so-called black man. Prepare if you're a so-called black person. Prepare if you're a so-called Native American person. Prepare if you're a so-called Latino person. If any of you listen to this video or you watch any of our videos, if you fall in that category, if you self-identify as so-called black, Latino, Native American, get ready. Trouble is coming. 2023 is going to be it. Trouble is coming. And yeah, we all caught a glimpse of it last year, 2022, right? Where we were seeing what's going on with the whole Vanessa push, how they were pushing it towards so-called black and brown communities, right? It was a target. It's a targeted thing. You know, they're talking about all these companies are buying up a whole lot of stuff, and they're gonna use it to fight against Jake. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, that's why you had a lot of Jake last year and years prior to that. Like, yo, we gotta come together. We gotta build our own shit. We gotta stay away from these people, man. Nah, no. These are your oppressors. Okay, Yahweh Shemiel Shah put them over us as a form of punishment. And then a lot of you niggas stupid as fuck. You end up loving your oppressor. Got issues. All right, and the Lord gonna destroy you for that. So let's keep going. It says, it says build to rent is a useful response to the market's needs. Of course it is. Of course it is. And we're gonna read a little bit more as to why. It says the build to rent trend initially emerged during the Great Recession as a way for home builders to continue adding supply at a time when consumers were not buying homes. It refers to a process where developers construct an entire community of typically detached single-family homes that later rented out by an operating partner. The trend gained steam during the CV-19 pandemic as demand for single-family homes and suburban living skyrocketed. Haven Reality has emerged as a national leader in the space. Of course, Esau, the ultimate opportunist, man. The ultimate opportunist, man. This nigga just came up out of nowhere. Has emerged as a national leader in the space with a portfolio. It's almost like they know. You know what I'm saying? It's like almost like they plan these things and they wait for the perfect time to swing into action. You know, with a portfolio of 35 built-to-rent communities valued at more than $1.2 billion. Similarly, JP Morgan is one of a handful of companies that are pioneering digital rent payment options. You hear that? Digital rent payment options for renters and landlords. I knew we were going to get there. Now we're there. It says institutional investors like Fundrise, as well as pension funds and public companies, have been steadily acquiring single-family homes to rent for a profit. In order for you to pay for this profit, to pay for this home, new facilities that they're creating, right? Well, it's a digital form of payment now, as we just read, right? It says this has only increased competition for homes at a time when housing affordability is a primary concern for many. However, some like Tomas Piskorsky, a professor of real estate at Columbia Business School, believe that the build-to-rent model is more efficient than the traditional model of selling each newly built home to separate private individual buyers. So going back to that, you will own nothing and you'll be happy. Listen to what he just said. It's better that we build to rent than to have separate private individual buyers. See? So that's that gradual, but quickly. It's happening quickly. It's gradual, but it's quick. Meaning what? The steps are happening rapidly, but there's still steps. Okay, so the gradualism is the steps that they're taking, but it's happening in a very quick manner. It's almost like every 2 weeks or so, definitely every 3 months, but every 2 to 3 weeks or so, there's always some new push for that B system. Okay, everything being centralized and digitalized. Okay, it says he told Insider in early November that the build to rent trend is a quote useful response to the market's needs, end quote. Professional renting companies in some ways bring more efficiency, and they might help solve affordability problems because of very high mortgage rates right now, Piskorsky said, end quote. A lot of people simply cannot afford to buy a home. So what's the solution? A bank. A bank is going to go buy homes and then rent it out. To who? Mostly Jakes. But it's going to be in the form of a digital payment system. Okay, let's see. So in other words, those who are going to be homeless, you're going to have one of two choices. You will either go into a place that's I believe the biggest facility for them is based in Alaska somewhere. It's called a sea camp or a FEMA camp. Yeah, that's right. And or you can also, buy in. You can also receive these benefits by a form of a digital payment. And there's something known as a UBI. It's what they call Universal Basic Income, right? And you have to opt in, right? You have to give consent that you're interested in this. It's called receiving something, right? As the prophecy goes. And those who receive this thing, you agree to sign those papers and you agree to sign your life away. You're going to end up taking this thing for identification. All right. It's called the radio frequency identification, CHIP. And that's how they're going to identify who's who, and also ultimately who's who, meaning what, your identity, and ultimately to give you access to this new world of doing things, this new way of doing things, this new so-called normal that's coming soon. Okay. And I believe through the Spirit that we're going to see all these things in 2023, because 2022 was the preparation for that. All right. The mental preparation for the physical thing. All right. We went through a lot of MOTB conditioning. Okay. The MOTB mentality has been established, and now we're about to enter into the MOTB reality. Okay. It says not everybody agrees with Piskorski's assessment. Housing experts like John Burns of the eponymous real estate consulting firm in Phoenix, Arizona, have cautioned developers against going, quote, all in, end quote, on build to rent because it can take a long time to bring those communities to market. Well, guess what? Not if you control the market. Not if you control the system. You could just bring it down, and then there you go. Voila. Right? Quote, we're still very bullish overall, but not everything's going to work out, end quote, Burns told Insider in October. Very interesting name right there, Burns. And it's crazy because Esau always does this. Oh, we're not sure. It's just planning. We're not really looking too into it. There isn't much going on with this. It's still technology that we're still looking into. No. Okay, this is all things they've planned. All right. There's a book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 1. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And that is who? These so-called owners, these private stakeholders, these global leaders, young global leaders, like Professor Klaus Schwab likes to say. All right, we haven't heard from him lately. I hope he's good. I hope he's in good health. We got to keep this nigga alive. Can't have this guy croak like that. There's been too many people of high position of these Edomite nation that's been croaking too much. I don't know what's going on, but the rest of you got to stay up now. All right, prophecy is happening. Hang tight. You got to see the glory of the Lord too. Okay. Verse 2 says they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. Okay, and that's what they did to the people, to the Lord's people, I should say. Okay, the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. Okay, we're still in oppression, under oppression. Okay. And now they're about to take it to the next level. Gonna buy out all the houses and then put you at a stranglehold. Unless you comply, you can't get none. All right, that's what's gonna happen. Okay. So pay attention, man, because this is all leading to what? To the MOTB. Okay, to the MOTB, man. All right. Let me get that, and then we're gonna close it out. All right, it's the book of Revelation, chapter 13, and verse 16. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Okay. And he calls it, and he poeo, all right. Poeo meaning what? To construct, to fashion, to create, to build, all right. To guide something into something, right. And that's what we're seeing now, right. They're setting you up, basically. That's that cause it. They're setting up everyone, both small and great, rich and poor. Why? Because it's a system that no matter what you're doing, no matter how old or how young, how rich or how poor, whatever, there's a system that you're going to be in. And that's that digital system. That's that causing all. Okay? Both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive, okay, a charagma in their right hand or in their foreheads. Okay, so that word mark goes into a Greek word charagma. It's very specific, so it can't be something that it's not. You understand? It cannot be something that it's not. It's very simple. It's the charagma, and that means what? An incision, all right, or something that's being placed underneath the skin, subdermal. Okay, a digital implant. Okay, an implant underneath your skin. Okay, that will be able to basically give you access to be able to make purchases. That's the key. In verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the charagma, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Okay, so like again, that word mark goes into Greek word charagma. It's very specific. It can't be something that it's not. Okay, so anyone who's saying other than what it is, they're delusional. Okay, they got demons on them. All right, and if they don't repent, they're gonna eat missiles. That's just what it is. And if you believe that, you definitely eat missiles. Okay, whoever is telling you that, oh, hey, maybe they might not believe it. They sold out, or maybe the Lord just deceived them. But if you believe it, you know you're done. You eat missiles. All right, the mark is the RFID microchip. That's what it is. Okay. It says, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is a number of a man, and his number is 666. So you're going to start seeing them, or which we have seen. They'll be tailoring everything to form to be underneath that vibration of that 666 number. You're always going to see that, which will be tied in to that New World Order agenda, that number 666. Okay, so that's what John saw. That number 666, all right, is tied in, is synonymous with that New World Order. That's why it's the number of a man. His number is 666. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it off there, Lord, and you be edified. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, Tawada Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and until next time, Shalom.